Fat Farm?
Oh man,
Fat Farm was cool. I'm trying to think if I ever had any Fat Farm. I think I
That was a
honestly
staple.
like
That's the P
Before
with
the
like
AF1, the P on the
P?
Fat Farm shoe. That was a staple.
I
before.
never had a Fat Farm shoe in life. I didn't know they had. I mean, I can't even remember that.
He's like, no, I wasn't rocking. I wasn't rocking with the Fat Farm shoes.
Thank you, sire.
Fat Farm shoes is crazy. Gotta dial in, you know?
Is that what that
dial
was?
in. Cameras on, everything? We're chilling? All right. All right, guys. Welcome back to episode 2 of season 3. The last episode was recorded how many weeks? Like 3-4 weeks ago. But we're back on pace. Last episode, Ghost had some information we couldn't release yet. So glad to be back on a weekly schedule. And today we're in Joshua Tree.
Yes, sir.
I think the background should be showing. We're in Joshua Tree, California. Came out here for some content. And we're lucky enough to link up with our good friend Davin, owner of Diet Starts Monday, also a part of the INAKA team. So we want to run a pod with him. And, yeah, let's just get her going there. Let's just get her going. So, Davin, how was your drive up here? Because the road's pretty bad, man.
Yeah, I mean, the drive was straight until I got literally to 50 yards from here. My car might not make it home, but yeah, the drive is cool. I don't mind like a decent commute because there's not a lot of times in the day where like you just have like just silence to just think and kind of collect your thoughts or whatever. I also use that time to talk to my partner Tyler to kind of like figure out what we got to do for the day, Instagram posts and just operational stuff. But yeah, I kind of listened to a little bit of a podcast, talked to my mom, talked to Tyler, and then I was here trying to get through the terrain. But yeah, no, everything was straight. Good
That's
day.
dope, man. That's dope. So
That is true. Like I think on those drives, even though I hate long drives, those are the drives where you really get to like think.
I was literally about to ask
You
that.
think for a fucking long ass time. Like, you
Yeah,
get
I
to
mean,
do it.
I think that people don't realize how many decisions like you have to make having a brand throughout the day. And so like just having that time to like not that you don't have to deal with this stuff, but like that just gives you a second to just like breathe. Like that's literally like the only time I get to breathe, I feel like is when I'm in the car, unless if it's a flight. Flight is like the extended version of my car ride. But yeah, I don't know, those times are important to just clear the mind.
Did you hit auto drive? Self drive?
I hit autopilot for a second just to take a couple videos, just to like, because I guess you drove here too, so you go through like the windmill part or whatever. That's kind of like a staple. Driving to Palm Springs, Joshua Tree, you got to hit that. But other than that, like self-driving, the autopilot is just kind of scary to me. It's
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. It's not the most like safe, I feel like.
I hate the braking. Like when the car brakes for itself, I feel so weird.
Yeah,
What? I've never heard
pretty,
this. I thought it was like the most safest, coolest thing ever.
No,
It's
I mean,
cool as fuck, to be honest. in my
it's
opinion.
cool that your car can drive for you, but it especially like on windy roads, it can get a little like sketchy. Like it may not turn as fast as you would turn. So that's like if you're riding with somebody and they drive differently, they wait till the last minute to brake or whatever. You're like, yo, like that's
You start pressing the brake yourself.
Except you're doing it to yourself.
Yeah, that's how I feel. That's why I rarely use it. Everybody's like, oh, just turn on autopilot. It's like, nah, no thanks.
What about when you're on the straightaway, like a straight?
Straightaway, I'll do it. And that's kind of what I'll do. Like, I'll wait until it's a straightaway, turn on autopilot, and then
chill,
get my flick off. Or
you
might have to, like, post or handle something real quick. It comes in handy when you got to, like, send an urgent email or something like that. It definitely is safer. That route is safer than not having self-drive or autopilot and trying to
do both,
maneuver through traffic and send an email. But yeah, that's the only time I really use it, is like
How long do you have to do it before you touch it again? Like the steering wheel?
I don't know what that is. Like Matt would probably know more than me, but probably like a minute. I feel like you gotta every minute you gotta kind of grab the steering wheel.
Adjust it, but then you're chilling.
Yeah, but it's also like if you just kind of like kept your hand on the wheel and like handle the phone, like it doesn't. I think it just wants to know that you're like not asleep.
Yeah.
Going back to the original like car drive thing, do you ever take trips to kind of get away, like for your mind?
I feel like
because I know Shale.
I've seen
like
you
we've
different places.
I take trips, but it's not really for my mind. More so for my girl and her mind. But when I take trips, I take that back. I take trips for my mind, but it's different. Like I don't take them and go and just kind of like clock out and not think about work. I'm still thinking about what we have to do, what goals we have, what collections I have to design or whatever. But usually those trips are like the times where I come up with a lot of my designs. I don't have to deal with people at the office like, yo, did you do this? Can we do this? Like, did you pull that? It just like gives me time to just focus on design, which is the part that I love most anyways. But I'll take them never to like, it's just like when it's just as cliche as it sounds, but when like that's the part that you love, like you can't really disconnect from it. So like I'll go on vacation, but like as soon as I land, I'm like pulling up the computer like, yo, I gotta design this because I feel inspiration or whatever. But I haven't traveled that much for pleasure recently. We just went to Phoenix and Scottsdale like a couple weeks ago, but other than that, I don't think I had been anywhere since like Miami, like July of last year or something. Been pretty low, like in the lab. So hopefully things kind of slow down a little.
What are you doing this July?
Miami.
What are you
Miami.
doing
Loud weekend,
specifically July Rolling Loud weekend, like the 22nd to 25th.
I guess Miami.
You'll be in Miami for sure.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
you have a pop-up or something.
Yeah, you got to be there.
No, yeah, I'm there. Like, just let me know the dates.
Is there a memorable design that came from, like one of those trips where it's like you got creative inspiration and then you designed something and you remember it specifically?
I mean, honestly, I could almost pull up any design and tell you where it came to me from. But I think our next Puma collab that comes out in February, that shoe I designed in Costa Rica. And that shoe is very, like, you'll see when it comes out, but it's very like, it's similar to this. It's a Puma suede, but it's very like,
that's a beautiful shoe. Like
vacay vibes, South of France vibes, or like just like it's all canvas with chain stitch embroidery and leather insole and just like kind of like a luxury Puma suede.
What model did you use?
It is the suede. So it's basically this silhouette. The paneling is a little bit different because actually I was just with Puma yesterday. They don't even really know what this silhouette is.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Like,
because the suede, I think the suede has to have, obviously being called suede, it has to have a certain percentage of suede to be called the suede. And I think this is the suede silhouette, but it doesn't have much suede. So I think it's like kind of in this gray area. But ours is this model, just a little bit different paneling. No, they call this the form strip. There's no form strip on it. And Puma's always really really dope at just kind of letting you create without, like, Nike would hardly ever let you take like a swoosh off a shoe.
Yeah. No.
But like Puma's like, yo, like if that's what the design calls for, like run it. So
is the Puma one that you're collabing on, is it like similar to that, or?
Yeah, it's basically it's this silhouette, this same type of like vintage antique sole, And then what?
It's funny because you literally said like it's this shoe, and then he goes, "Is it
No,
similar to
well-
that?" He's like, "You were literally in the midst of explaining what you just restarted."
It's too much tequila already.
Oh yeah, I was like,
Honestly-
bro, I was like, you just like I'm literally listening to him
Nah.
explain that it's like this shoe,
Nah.
and you're explaining every aspect of
You
it. And he's like,
you
so
know-
is it similar to that?
You know what's crazy? Yeah, I have had a good amount of tequila, but he was explaining it, and I was like,
Oh,
damn,
man,
like
that's so funny.
this could be the same shoe. But I was like, you know what? Should I ask her or not? And I kept telling myself, okay, maybe I should just ask, because I was very interested. Because I was when you were explaining it,
Yeah, I'm
I was
like
staring
picturing
at
it,
the
right?
shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wasn't like really. I was just looking at the shoe.
Yeah.
Okay,
This,
so you don't
this
have to
shoe
explain
is
it
this shoe is good, man.
That was so funny.
I literally
couldn't
looked
hold
at
that
Ant. No, I looked at Ant. I was like, bro, that's a beautiful ass shoe.
Yeah.
So I probably didn't hear that part.
Yeah, so to answer it again, yeah, it basically it's this silhouette, just a little like we use canvas instead of leather, and
Yeah.
it's got this Diet Starts Monday chain stitch, basically where this form strip is, really minimal, but then it's got our signature yellow lacing, so I'm excited about that. It's honestly like, when you design for these brands, you kind of submit them like a few different ones, not knowing which one they're gonna like approve.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the one that I thought they were just gonna like be like,
Hell no.
like what for? Like we don't need that. But it ended up making it. And the one that I thought was like the sure shot got scrapped. So, but it's so basically like a lot of the times they come to you like, hey, we have these silhouettes. We're trying to really drive energy to these. Like if something comes to you, let's do that. But if it doesn't, like just run with what you want to run with. But the one that I thought was a sure shot was the one that they were trying to get the energy towards, and it ended up working out because that was the one I liked least. The other two are like this model is like, it's kind of like if you see the beauty in kind of like a classy like travel shoe, like you'll get this one. But the other one is like,
Bro,
that's the one.
it's funny. Like, so like this made me think about everything. So I have a pair of the Puma Collabs, the last ones, and then I also have the DC shoes. There's brands that like I grew up. I knew that. I mean, obviously we all know that these brands exist, like Saucony, Puma, DC, Under Armour.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could talk about that, but okay. So Under Armour. I never really like fucked with those brands, but like when you put your touch on it, like I'm gonna be real with you, I've never thought about wearing a Saucony shoe.
Yeah.
But I look at this and I'm like, bro,
It's a beautiful
I'd
shoe.
rock this bitch every day. Same thing with the Puma shoe. Like, I've
Puma
never
for
really
sure.
seen a Puma shoe like that up close, and I think it's a
Even this
beautiful
one right
shoe.
here
So
is
I'm
just
thinking,
clean.
okay, if you applied your same DSM twist to it, I already know that shoe is gonna be fire. Same thing with the DC shoes you gave me.
Yeah.
Like that was like 4 years ago.
Yeah, I think we
3 or 4 for sure.
Yeah, because John was still a part of Diet when we started working on that shoe. I think it finally came out 2019.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like my first real shoe, I guess, was an Under Armour shoe, but it was for our other brand, Premium Co. And it was like a small project for MLB All-Star Weekend. And they didn't really like let you like build like a whole shoe, but they kind of were like, it was almost like a Nike ID thing,
about
but
to say,
a little bit elevated. But the key takeaway from that shoe was like it hit Hypebeast and all of the blogs, and seeing readers be like, yo, I'd never looked at Under Armour like that. Like I would actually buy this
Exactly,
shoe.
yeah.
That was just like, I don't know. That was like something that stuck with me. But I feel like even if it was like this microphone or this vase or whatever, like I feel like I could put my spin on it and make it dope. So I think that's just like the true nature of a designer is like,
How can you design
yeah,
anything?
can you take something and leave it better than it was before? That's kind of my like, at least the way I navigate with it.
So what's your favorite item you've designed that's not a clothing item? Because you've done candles. Obviously, you've done jewelry with Premium.
Man, it's tough. Like, The candles were dope. Those still haven't come out just because I'm like, it's kind of scattered. But
yeah, I only see them in your crib, man.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I'm
bro,
kind of selfish. Like
I want the pill for sure.
I kind of don't know if I want to like let the world get it or if I want to keep it to myself.
Yeah.
But I think like they all. I mean, it's just like everything. Like everything's your baby.
Yeah.
I've designed like watch dials and rings and necklaces. Those are all like dope because no matter like if it's diet or if I'm wearing something else, like I can still have like a part of my design. But honestly, I think that my favorite thing I guess you said not clothing. My favorite thing that I've designed, I think, is it's called our Brando jacket. It's like our leather, like cowhide leather. Sorry, PETA. That piece is like, I designed it probably like 2014. I still have it. Just like something that'll just like only get better with time.
Yeah.
Like good leather and good construction, and just like it's timeless.
That's crazy.
But yeah, everything. Like I've done skateboard decks. Like I have like a slight history with skating.
Mm-hmm. Is that how the DC cab came about?
Yeah, I mean, it came about because we actually, it's kind of a funny story. So originally it was supposed to be an Asics collab. The people left Asics and went to Mitchell and Ness. It then shifted from from Asics to Mitchell and Ness collab. So we were working on the Mitchell and Ness collab. Those same two people ended up leaving Mitchell and Ness and going to DC. Mm-hmm. And it ended up, we did DC because I had the skate background. Like growing up in Kentucky, I played basketball and I skated. So wearing DCs and Etnies and like all of the other stuff. But also,
that was an error.
Yeah, it was. But also like wearing like Jordans and Griffeys or like I.
Man, I remember the Griffeys.
Yeah, I grew up in like kind of like a privileged era where you kind of got to experience so many different facets.
SBs were popping back then too.
Yeah, SBs were huge.
Man.
I was like, I mean, I was telling the kid yesterday from Soul Retriever, like I used to be so heavy in footwear until I started making it, and then I just like I hadn't even seen these until you posted them. It's just like so hard to keep up with so many products coming at you.
So many drops, so many collabs.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, even myself, like I said, I have a shoe that comes out Saturday, but I have 6 more already like on the calendar for between now and February. So like, that's just me putting out 6 pair into the world, and I'm just me. Yeah. So like,
which one drops Saturday?
These, right?
These?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
These drop Saturday at Concepts in Boston, and then online on our site Monday. And then Bodega, Wish in Atlanta, Sneaker Politics, Lapstone and Hammer. There's like 10, 20 doors worldwide that get them.
So online release is only going to be Diet's website? On
the 16th, yeah.
Okay.
I think Saucony releases them on like the 20th.
Word.
They release like a small amount. We kind of have it like,
I
don't know. It's kind of all over the place, to be honest.
This is a beautiful shoe, guys. I don't know if you can.
This is a gorgeous shoe, man.
See it on my camera.
Gorgeous shoe.
Zoom in a little bit, or
like the detail right here.
Yeah, the detailing on this side right here was what really, when I saw it, the direction, there is no direction repeated. I mean, that's insane.
So you obviously you designed the shoe. You sent it to their manufacturers, and they kind of just sampled like different materials and stuff like that.
Yeah, so
for you
from the beginning, I wanted to do suede, but you never see suede on a running shoe.
No.
But they were like, well, maybe we should do like microfiber. Like that would be a little bit more breathable. And I'm like, yeah, but microfiber doesn't have that luxe look.
Yeah.
But I also was very specific about the suede. I'm like, I want this Wolverine suede, which is what you see on all the New Balance collabs, the Aime Leandore stuff, like all of that stuff is Wolverine suede. But Wolverine owns Saucony. They make the suede that New Balance uses. I didn't know that until I started working with Saucony, but they were like, oh, like you love that suede, like we make it perfect. So I designed the shoe, sent it to them, and they sent me like microfiber at first because they were like, oh, well, maybe if we turn the microfiber inside out, like it'll give you that texture you're looking for. And it didn't. And I'm like, we got to use the suede. And so the next sample came back, and actually there was a box of like 6 samples. I thought they were all the same. These were on the bottom. I didn't even see them. I only saw a microfiber. And when I opened the box, I kind of just like put the box down. I'm like, man, this ain't it. And then we had a call, and he was like, well, did you see all the different materials? And I'm like, I thought it was all the same. He's like, no, there's suede in there. I pulled it out. I'm like, yo,
That's the one.
this is the one.
Yeah, man.
Saucony's like, they were really dope about just like letting me create. Like you don't really see embroidery like that on a panel. You never really see like embroidery over another panel. There's just like so many things that go into footwear where they have to pass like performance tests, and certain things won't get approved and certain ones will. But like these little details here is like, it's the smallest thing that a camera can barely, like a macro lens can pick it up, but like your normal camera won't even see it. But when the customer gets the shoe and they look at it, like this diet on the back, that's 3M, but like nobody even knows that except you guys, because I just told you. But like even the camera, it's hard to get the camera to even pick it up. But when people get it and just happen to take a picture with the flash, they'll see it. So I kind of wanted to leave like a couple Easter eggs for people to find.
No, for sure.
But
I love how they let you like do the the Saucony S between the DSM.
Yeah,
So
that was insane.
That's pretty cool.
So I don't know what the significance of the 3 dots is either.
Yeah.
But that's so on the outside we have the 3 globes that kind of mirror the 3 dots.
Yeah, man.
And this obviously is the same shape of the Saucony S. Like there's just a lot of like really good design in the shoe. That the insoles have like custom handwritten font that I drew, and just
the insoles are nice too.
It's I mean, but also for like a $200 shoe, like you would hope that like it's a good design. Like, but yeah, I don't know. I just wanted a shoe that like I could wear to the gym, that one that I designed like just selfishly, but 2, just like that I like to go like from the gym and then like shower and then go to like a meeting straight from there, and I have to go home, change clothes, get different shoes and stuff like that. And I felt like this shoe was one I could just like wear from gym to meeting to lunch, dinner, meeting, whatever. Like just kind of like an all-purpose. Like it's a performance shoe, but I kind of look at performance as like I'm a designer, so my performance, I don't have to really perform well in the gym, but just a shoe that I could wear all day. That's my performance.
Yeah, because I feel like when it comes to performance shoes, like they're not always cool looking.
No, not at all. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Like you, for so long. I mean, even now, still, you would go in a running shoe store and just see like, you're like, oh, I need a good shoe for running, and they bring out Brooks or even Saucony or Adidas or whatever, but like they may be like just like ugly shoes, but they're like, oh, but this has the guide rail that you need, and like it gives you the support. Cushion. It's like, well, it gives me the support, but like what about like
how
just the looks? Like this thing looks like trash. But,
exactly.
Running with cement blocks on your feet.
Yeah.
Facts.
But yeah, it's good though. I think I'm most excited about this just because you don't see many brands tackle performance product, especially streetwear, lifestyle brands. And so, and just like being a higher price point too, it's like it's an experiment to see, like, I don't know, our audience may be like, nah, it's too, like, I'm not fucking with 200, but they might. We'll see.
Yeah, I was literally going to ask, like, kind of circling back to diet and collaboration. I was going to ask, what was your favorite collab just in general from like from beginning of diet till now? If you want to give a rundown of the collabs you have done, and then like what's your favorite one so far?
So I think the first was the DC collab Then we went right into the Rider sandal collab. I don't even know if you guys saw that. It was like the yellow sandal.
I remember that. Yeah.
That one was crazy because we literally like they flew us to Sao Paulo, Brazil to have a pop-up. And
it's like the Jesus sandals, right?
Yeah, but like still diet yellow. It's almost like a Suey Coke or Visvum type look, but like more affordable price point, obviously. But Rider is like a huge company in Brazil. I had no clue. They flew us there, did a pop-up, put us in 5-star hotels. Like that one was just crazy, just like as an experience.
Yeah.
So it was Rider or DC Rider. We actually launched the brand with a collab. We launched with at the time it was 5-4 Clothing. They were a men's subscription clothing service. We did a collab with them when we first launched, then went into DC, then Rider. We did a collab with For Those Who Sin, which was clothing. I think we kind of took a little break and then came back with, I think Puma may have been our next collab. It started in 2018, but we didn't release it until like January 1st of 2021. It's like a 3-year process. And now from here we have Saucony, we have Under Armour, Steph Curry for August and kind of like November range. We have INAKA collab. We have Puma Part 2.
Yeah.
I would probably say like Puma has probably been the favorite so far just because of like the overall, like I think that one we had a little bit of press behind it. Like we didn't have a ton of press behind the DC or like anything like that. And just having like my hometown newspaper called and interviewed me, and like just like I think the sentimental aspect of that collab, like kid from small town in Kentucky has his own Puma deal. Like that one was, I think that's what made that one so big. But it's just it's weird because like you do these. I was listening to a podcast on the way here, and there's a guy from Fear of God. He used to be at Nike, Jason Maiden. But he was talking about like the real success comes from like the completion of the project. And so like that's kind of like you do one and then people are like, oh, how's it feel? And like it doesn't really feel like anything because you completed that so long ago.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, this one is done. But like I designed this February of 2020. Like it's, I don't even know what month or year it is, but I know it's a long time from then.
Yeah.
And so
it's 2 years.
Yeah. So like, and then the new Puma that comes out in February, I designed that probably maybe 2021. So it's definitely like a 2-year span that like, it's hard to like stay in that moment that you were in 2 years prior. But again, they're all your babies, but
you did one with Spalding, right? And then
you did one with Spalding.
Yeah, I forgot.
Spalding was at your high school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spalding.
Speaking of like sentimental moments, I feel like that would be pretty sentimental.
Hey, you would think. I dropped the ball by not mentioning that. It's just, again, it's like, it's so many.
Yeah.
Like you kind of forget like until people bring it up. But Spalding was big, and it kind of like spiraled out of control a little bit because the inspiration for the collab was my high school, but at the time we couldn't book my high school to shoot it or anything just because of NIL rules, and Kentucky doesn't have like they don't have an NIL agreement for high school athletes in Kentucky. I was trying to get them to like be paid for it. We ended up using them and just making a donation to the school, so we still got to use them. But that was big just to like
need a statue there.
Growing, I need like at least a
Davin
key.
Gentry statue for
MJ
sure.
statue.
At this point,
Davin doing the MJ.
Pose.
Yo, it is stats like from high school, like on the statue and shit.
Yeah. So like growing up in Madisonville, I'm sure it's probably similar, like Sugarland or anything. Like growing up, you play like ours is called ABA. That's basically Little League basketball. The all-star team for ABA is the Maroons, and like as a kid, like 4th, 5th grade, like you feel like a college athlete.
Yeah,
like you have like traveling warm-ups and like all of this stuff. And I remember being on the team. Like, I mean, I was always on it. Not to toot my own horn, but I was always
he's
on
always
the
on the Maroons, boy. He
Never
been a Maroon, boy.
Never been a B team, but we
shout out B team listeners though.
Yeah,
if you're on the B team,
teams.
it's all good, man. You'll be on the A team one day.
Maybe, but
I was definitely B team.
Nah.
Yeah, I was.
Young Coker.
You must have
went to the private school. Then he was 18 the whole time.
You must have hit your peak later in life.
I definitely blossomed like my senior year for sure.
When Charlie started taking lessons like a year ago, that's his peak basketball career for Charlie was Alpha Land for sure. He's 18 Alpha Land.
Yeah. We grew up like just idolizing the Maroons. Like those were our like celebrities. But when I was on the team, I just remember like our 4th grade year, we had these traveling sweatsuits, and like growing up, as I started designing clothing, that memory always stuck with me. Like that's one of the like fashion memories that just like sticks in my head. And so I'm like, when I get the opportunity, I'm going to do something inspired by that moment. And so Spalding came along, and Spalding's actually based in Bowling Green, Kentucky. I went to school in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And so it was kind of like a Kentucky connection. I'm like, well, yo, I got this idea. They were all for it, and we did it, and we made it happen. There was like a ton of hiccups in the way. Like, honestly, like it was a collab that just didn't go the way it should have gone.
Yeah.
Just like factory stuff, and these corporations, it's not necessarily Spalding's fault. A lot of these corporations have like factories that handle all their licensed product, and it was honestly just like their factory just kind of screwed me. But it was supposed to be like, we released 2 pieces, it was supposed to be 12.
Yeah, I remember the turnaround seemed a little shorter, and then the product line was just like, there's only 2 items, right?
Long story short, like you always approve samples before you go into production.
Yeah. While
we're reviewing the samples on the call, I'm like calling out all of these things, and they're like, "Oh, well, this is already in production. Like we had to put this into production to meet the deadline." And I'm I hate to break it to you, but you can't release that. Like it says in my contract that I get final say. And like, to be fair, I'm a very like understanding and I'm far too forgiving. My other partners that I've had in the past, not at all.
Mm.
But I'm like, me being somewhat reasonable, I'm like, okay, like these 2 pieces are okay. I'm okay releasing these, but you have to scrap the other 10.
Mm-hmm.
And so we scrapped it, and they kind of like felt this, not Spalding, but the factory felt a certain type of way, because they had to eat that. Spalding's like, it's not our fault. Like you broke the rules. So that's I think that I kind of probably like overlooked that, because I kind of push out the stuff like that. But going back, shooting at my high school, speaking to the kids, and like some of my best friends growing up, like their kids are like the stars of the teams now.
Yeah.
And so
that's crazy. Like
I'm talking to my dude Bub's son, Jay, and Jay looks just like Bub when we were that age. And it was honestly just like a really crazy full circle moment. And just being able to
that's pretty dope.
Yeah,
being able to go back and like we didn't have anybody come talk to us and like say like,
y'all didn't have Spalding come out to y'all.
No, we didn't.
So
we didn't even have.
Back to your school.
Yeah,
that's
we
crazy.
didn't even have like we had to pay as a team. Like the players had to pay for your shoes and your jersey, your bag and stuff like that. And
y'all didn't get team shoes.
You did, but you had to pay for them.
That's crazy.
And so like going back and being like, yo, like I came from these same spots that you guys come from. Like it's I know you like hear it a lot, but it's possible to like make it out of here. Like Madisonville is a very like one way, like it's kind of just one way in, no way out type place. And
what is, like, what do you mean by that? Like, is it like a like? I mean, what are your options in Madisonville?
So like, if you're not like a D1 athlete, or if you don't get a scholarship, and you don't go off to school, you're probably going to the coal mines.
The coal mines?
Coal, COAL.
Oh, coal mines. So you're mining coal.
Yeah. Like I got, but like to be honest, like coal
like
mines,
the mines are cool out there. Or what?
It's my
Jesus, man.
Like coal miners make good money in Kentucky, and so like I got homies that are like got way more money in the bank than me that have been mining coal since they got out of high school. But it's like coal mining. Not to say that there's not like, people that go off to school and go do things, but like,
would you consider it a traditional small town?
Oh, 1,000. It's the epitome of small town. Like,
there's a lot of talent from your like that area.
Yeah,
like,
Harlow,
like Harlow, Bryson Tiller.
Well,
Davin
also
Gentry.
To be fair, well, not to be fair, but like
Katie and Hayden.
Yeah,
Louisville is different than Madisonville. Louisville's not a small city.
Louisville's like a city.
Yeah,
like
Louisville's
a major
Louisville's
city. Yeah.
a major city. Louisville.
Not
Louisville. Yeah, Louisville.
Louisville. Why is it like that?
I don't know. It's just
boys are different out there.
Yeah, it's just that's just the vibe. Like it's just Louisville. It's never been Louisville. There used to be these signs when you would like fly in or drive in, and they would show the different pronunciations of Louisville.
Lit. Yeah.
But like the one is Louisville. But it's it's weird about it's spelled like Louisville, and I'm from Madisonville, but you don't say Madisonville.
Yeah.
So there's just kind of like a weird Kentucky thing, but there's a ton of talent. That's the sad part about it is like I grew up with people that
Kentucky.
The most talented, like I could name like so many people that I grew up with that were like so much better at so many things than me that just like got caught in a wrong predicament or like wrong place at the wrong time or like whatever. Like there's a lot of people that didn't make it out that just kind of in and out of jail for life, and it gives you a different work ethic for sure because you have to work
10 times as hard.
10 times. Like even you guys being from Houston, Sugar Land, wherever, like you got to work X amount harder than the people in LA or New York to get to a certain spot. Kentucky, we got to work X amount hard just to get to
Houston
where you
level,
got. And so it gives you like that grind that's like, and that's why you see the people like Jack was grinding for however many years before he was popped.
He really was.
Hayden and Katie, like they didn't launch Alani till recently as really. So
I remember following Hayden and Katie when they were living in like that 1-bedroom apartment.
I probably wasn't even following Hayden yet. I think
they had like a 1-bedroom apartment with like they had 2 or 3 pit bulls in a 1-bedroom apartment. That shit was crazy.
Yeah, and now look.
Yeah, now look. Yeah, pit bulls in a mansion now.
Pit bulls got their own
pit bulls have a den the size of the apartment.
More than me.
Those pits are legendary.
Nah, that's insane.
Going back to you, we were talking about high school, where like where you come from. When did you know, like, what you wanted to do as a creative? Like, at what point in your lifetime did you realize, like?
Because you were playing ball.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so how do you even get to the point where you're at now, where you're full on creative? You're now collaborating with the likes of like Saucony, Puma.
You played college ball or not?
No, I stopped at the end of high school.
Okay.
I had like Austin P offers. Austin P is a college in Clarksville, Tennessee, and like some other small schools. That's another thing.
What position were you?
Kind of weird. Like, so growing up, I was a guard until high school, and then
How tall are you?
6'1", 6'2". But when I got to high school, I was a point guard and up until high school. And when I got to high school, my coach was like, "I'm going to put you at the 4." And I'm like,
that's the worst because like
now I'm playing people.
It transitions you to. I feel like that fucks you up in high school because like in high school you're considered tall.
Yeah.
But when when you're thrown into like a pool of like D1 players.
Yeah, you're
a
small now.
6'1" player is a point
Yeah,
guard.
I'm playing
Yeah.
people that are
You're a short
6'8",
point guard.
6'9",
Yeah.
7 foot.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, like my best game in high school was against people that were like 7 foot.
Yeah.
Like the dude that he ended up going off to Georgia. Obviously, I'll never forget it because you just don't forget those memories. But he went off and played for Georgia and then went overseas to play pro ball. And that was probably one of my best games. I put up like 32 on him or like
Jesus.
something like that.
Yeah, in high school at that.
32 in high school is like
32 in high school is like you make
like
the
81.
announcements. Yo, the next day you make the announcements like, and Davin Gentry 32 points last night. And
But
then, like,
so
all
this-
the girls just back then they didn't have DMs, huh?
they're at your locker
Yeah.
for sure.
No
Notes in
DMs.
your locker?
Notes in the locker for
handling
sure.
Paper notes. But also too, I talked to my mom on the way here this morning. My little brother, he'll be in high school next year, and I always talk to her about basketball because she made certain moves for me when I was young that kind of affected my basketball life. Like she pulled me out of public school in 6th grade because she felt like I was like going down the wrong path, just kind of like doing too much hanging and not enough studying. And so she put me in a Catholic school, and our Catholic school didn't have a team. So like the only basketball that I got in middle school was like outside ball, like at the park or whatever, or like I said, our ABA team or AAU. I played AAU too, but no team, no school ball. And school ball is really like the foundation for
Colleges
high
and
school,
shit.
college,
Yeah.
like everything.
I feel like now though it's AAU.
Yeah, well now,
Yeah.
the whole thing is
Yeah.
different now.
Yeah.
There's so many
Niggas don't even
circuits.
go to high school.
Yeah, I was about to
Yeah.
say. At this point, like kids, they can go overseas for high school.
Yeah,
they
like,
hit the league at
they're,
like
like,
17.
People are opting out of education to play
Yeah,
basketball.
I
to play
mean-
ball. I mean, at this point,
Yeah, it's like now like people can get paid to play. It's like when you have these kids that come from nothing, and then you're throwing $50,000, $100,000
Yeah.
deals at them like left and right. It's like, bro, like what? Like,
what am I gonna
and
do?
I'm going to
Yeah.
the NBA too.
exactly.
So,
Yeah.
but
Fuck this calculus.
Facts.
yeah, but like
Who needs,
I
like
didn't-
honestly, you don't need calculus in real life. If you think about it.
No, and that was funny. That was another thing they're talking about on the radio in LA. It was like classes that you had to take that you just did were
Bro.
just wastes of time.
Legitimately a
Statistics
waste
and
of
Don't
my
get me
life.
Yeah,
man.
no, I already know.
Don't get me
Legitimately
wrong.
waste of life
But
when you
anyways,
really
keep-
think about it.
Keep
But
going.
I was saying about basketball, like I didn't give basketball my all, and that's like looking back. Part of me is like, man, if you had stayed, like if you had actually put the work into basketball, like you would have went and got a free ride and stuff like that. But at the same time, if I had done that, I may not have
Been where you're
I
at.
may
Yeah.
not have been like a creative. And so
Facts.
then it's like, okay, would you rather been an NBA or creative? And then you never know, because I have homies that are in the NBA who wish that they were designing clothes
Yeah.
and have tried to design clothes. So everybody kind of wants to do the same
Yeah.
stuff. But I think that that's kind of like the key takeaway is like, I wish that I would have at least just given that the same, but I mean, I didn't have the same work ethic then that I have now, but I wish I would have like applied a little bit more, just like time to it. But
Does that drive you to push more in your creative space?
I think so. I think it's like just a matter of like, just the true like athletic mentality is like, leave it all out there.
Facts.
And my coaches would always like, to this day, they would be like, you were the most talented kid, one of the most talented kids we ever had, but you just didn't always try your hardest. And that's just like a shitty thing to kind of like take with you. But I'm accountable. I know that that's the case, but so like to get back to it, is like Madisonville is just a place. Like if you don't put it this way, there's a kid right now, Kyle Gaither, who was the star point guard of our school. He's in the campaign for Spalding. He put up like 2,500 points over his career at school. Like most kids I didn't even hit 1,000 points.
2,500.
2,500.
In 4
So he was
years.
scoring like 30 a game.
He played
Yeah.
5 years. He played 8th grade through
Damn.
his senior year.
Oh,
They
so
had to prove him
called
up. He was so cool.
Yeah.
They can do that?
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's how cold he was.
He's so
Yeah.
cold. Bro, imagine a senior getting their spot took by an 8th grader. I'd be so pissed.
But so he put up like over 2,000 points. I don't know if it's 2,500,
Yeah.
but over 2,000. And his offers are like, not to take anything away from him, but like his offers are like tiny.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, put up 2,000 points. Like most people don't even put up 800. I think I put up like 800, 800 or something.
I probably put like 50.
So that was probably one game.
The one game they finally let him play.
Yeah,
just balled
just
it out.
went
They were holding Charlie back. They were holding Charlie back.
But that just like in Kentucky, you may get Calipari to come like recruit you.
Yeah.
But it's like there's like 1 or 2 kids that ever got that look, and it's just like unfortunate part about like where we're at. Like if Gaither lived in Louisville,
It would
U of L,
yeah.
UK, Florida, Illinois, like all of the top recruits would have hit him. But where he's at, he's probably gonna have to go to like a JUCO.
And then
The last really good player, Kenny White, he had to go to like I think a smaller school, and now he's just transferred to Murray State, which is where Ja Morant went.
Yeah.
And so hopefully he can kind of follow in Ja's footsteps, because not too many people. Like it's so hard to make it to the league.
Bro,
Yeah.
I was literally about to say, I was waiting for you. Bro,
I think we had this conversation last time. There's
making the
yeah.
NBA
Yeah.
is because I see people at LA Fitness and YMCA that hoop to me like they're
Yeah,
LeBron James.
they're NBA level for sure.
So like to make it to the NBA,
The highest level in the world.
you have to be good. You
Yeah.
have to be fucking good, bro.
There's only
Like,
2 rounds, right?
I feel like
I
an
don't even
NBA
know.
player's
NBA draft's
IQ,
only. I think it's only 2 rounds.
but you can
Yeah.
still go without the
Yeah.
draft.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
But even then, like if you think about the draft, like
Your
the NFL
best-
draft, there's like 1,000 fucking rounds,
Yeah.
bro.
Well, so when
the
when I-
NFL draft is like 2 weeks long or some shit.
and then you get cut. Like most of those
Yeah.
players get cut within the first 2 weeks.
yeah, but
They
like
make the
NBA,
practice
bro,
squad
if you're not,
and
if you're outside of the lottery, imagine outside of the lottery, most of those players, like they don't even get playing time like that.
it's so crazy, bro. And they're good.
And they're good. And they're
riding
still
the
made the
bench.
draft.
They're cold.
Yeah,
Like, they'll pull up
exactly.
to
So
LA
it's
Fitness
like-
and drop. They'll destroy
60,
the
yeah.
entire gym.
They're like
60 in
they're
the
like
game to
Hoodie Mello.
32.
You know when Mello hops in the LA Fitness in New York?
Yeah.
The Skyline one?
Yeah.
That Mello's like the greatest basketball player of all time. That's
Hoodie
like
Mello.
everyone else.
That shit's so crazy to me. That's when I think it hit me because you as a kid, you like I'm sure you had those dreams too of like making the NBA. Like,
Oh, of course.
when you play against a top ranked player.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know about you, but for me, when I played against my first top ranked player, and he dunked on me,
Oh no, I didn't. I
They
never
humble
got
you a little
dunked on.
bit?
bro. I
Getting
played
dunked
against
on
the
is
Harrison
sick, though, I'm not
twins.
gonna lie.
The Harrison twins at Kentucky.
Oh, for real.
That's crazy, bro. It's
I
weird
think,
that we're
matter of
talking
fact,
about
I think you posted
Andrew
that or
Harrison
something.
and
Yeah.
Aaron Harrison. Yeah, the Kentucky twins.
I didn't even know they could
I
dunk.
was
He's like, yo, they dunked on me.
I was really like, I wouldn't say I was really close to them, but like we went to
Yeah.
the same. They went to Travis, I went to Dulles. It's like 10 minutes, like 15 minutes down the block from each other, and they were fucking cold as fuck. And I remember we were playing like an AAU scrimmage between our AAU teams, and one of them just dunked on me. I remember that day.
I bet.
I went,
Yeah.
bro, like, can you imagine like playing great defense and you jump up as high as you can,
Dude, that's so
and someone
foul.
the same height as you just out jumps you,
Ah.
but at the same time he like not like a layup dunk, but like he
dunked
viciously,
on you.
Like I was in the air and I was watching his arm go back.
Oh, he
Jeez.
cocked back
cocked
on
it
you.
back.
You got Jason Terry like LeBron in Miami. Remember
Bro.
when Jason Terry
Nah, that
like
was
died?
ugly.
You know
bro,
what-
the memes of Jason Terry's body leaving, like his soul
Bro.
leaving his body. That was
And when
so-
you come down, it's like your first reaction is
He's like,
to
yo,
grab
check
the
him, check him,
ball
check him.
and check it out and throw it out so you can just like keep going. But like, I think that's when I realized, okay, like to make the league. And the thing is, like, I think Andrew made it to Memphis Grizzlies, and now
Yeah.
he's like playing. Both of them aren't in the league anymore.
Yeah, they're probably like Argentina or something.
Yeah, they're probably like, I don't know where the fuck they are, but like that's just how hard it was. Like when that hits you,
That's insane.
you start realizing, okay, I need a plan B.
I like. So
I wasn't born for this shit.
I grew up, and there would like I said, there's tons of people that were like, I feel like NBA level people. And I remember my homie Brandon, he tried out for the league and he didn't make it. And growing up, like still to this day, I think he's probably like the best player I ever played against.
D'Angelo.
But he didn't make it. And then after I saw that, I'm like, man, if he didn't make it, I got no shot.
I have no fucking.
You know,
I couldn't hold this dude. D'Angelo, we couldn't hold him in practice. 10 people you put on him, he'll still outscore us.
Yeah.
It was just one of those things where like he's playing overseas right now, but it's just one of those things where like if he can't make it, then the niggas that are making it,
they
must
be
God.
What's so crazy is I played with Jalen since 7th grade, and I was offensive line. So I was offensive line from 7th grade to my senior year, and I blocked with Jalen, played with Jalen. I'm close friends with Jalen, and now he's an NFL quarterback. And like, I always knew he was goated, but I don't know. I feel like since I was like blocking for him and I wasn't able to see his performance, it was more so like it was an offensive thing. That I never really thought, like, no offense to Jalen, like, that's my boy. Hopefully he'll hop on an episode one day. I never thought he was, like, the greatest quarterback in the world. You know what I mean? Like, when we were in high school, Kyler Murray was at Allen, and Allen was undefeated for 3 years, state
Kyler
championship.
Murray was cold in high school.
I was like, bro, I would literally watch Kyler Murray's film with Jalen on Saturdays. Like, this is the greatest quarterback in Texas history. You know what I mean? Obviously, Kyler's in the NFL, but, like, even when Jalen was at Alabama and then when he went to OU, like he did crazy shit, but I never thought he was like just NFL starter like the same way you guys think of like your friends. But I mean, I don't know. NFL quarterback obviously is hard to do regardless. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like football might be a little bit, I don't want to say football is easier.
No, that professional,
especially not at quarterback level. It's not easier, but like, I don't know. It's just, it's an interesting conversation to have because I feel like
that professional level is just like, I mean, as of now, I'm like about to hit 30. I feel like watching John Morant and shit, like, and they're getting better. Like, you realize, okay, I was on crack back then, one, and then two, like, to be a professional athlete on TV, on ESPN, you have to be. There's a reason why they're making 100. I used to think NBA players, all these players were overpaid. They're good.
Yeah.
They're really,
well, also too,
really
like
good.
in our normal people defense, like these people weren't that good. I mean, not that they weren't that good, but they've continued to play and sharpen their craft over the last 10 years or so. That I'll go, like when we would go play and I'll leave like, damn, I'm washed. But then I'm like, well, also like,
I don't practice.
you haven't played consistently and worked out and trained for the last, not to say that if I had, I would have made it to the league, but
perfect example is LeBron's kid, Bronny.
Oh, Bronny.
If your whole life is centered around basketball,
bro, he's a junior now, and bro, like I remember watching him when he was a freshman. Bro, he's cold.
Even from
all he does is play basketball.
From his sophomore year to his junior year, we went and watched him play a couple times this year.
Real?
I remember.
Where
he played at Staples
LA.
Yeah,
bro,
Sierra
I would
Canyon.
love to. What is he? A junior now?
He'll be a senior now.
I would love to go watch him play.
Yeah. I'll see what. I mean, obviously we can get tickets
out
in the season, but they have these like invitationals at Staples Center that I went to. I feel like Bronny gets like a lot of hate, obviously, because he's LeBron's kid, but the progression I've seen over this last season, like even the first couple games of the season, he was okay. Now everything he throws up is wet. Like
it's a testament to what you said. Like he just
when you focus on
his
your
dad.
craft,
Probably, I mean, I'm not saying that LeBron doesn't care that he passes school, but like, I mean, he's probably geared so much towards basketball.
Yeah.
When I wake up, basketball. Midday, basketball. Sleep, basketball. So like, he has no choice but to get better.
Yeah.
No choice. We didn't. You just said that you didn't take it as seriously. I didn't take it as seriously. I was at home playing 2K, like, and eating cookies and shit. Like,
I quit.
I did too.
Halfway through my junior year, just because I thought I wanted to be in the streets.
Yeah.
And then my coach basically was like,
"Now you're not quitting."
Yeah, honestly, my coach. I don't even want to speak. I was about to say a story that kind of was just like be a negative light on him, but like because I'll just say like he knows
his family might listen.
He knows the street, so like he knows like okay, like if you go there, like this is what's gonna happen. Yeah. So he kind of was like, yo, like that's not what you want to do, but he ended up like kind of like pulling me back in, like, and that year was probably like my junior year was probably a better year than my senior year. And then senior year, I just kind of was like over it. Like I still had games where I put up 20 something or whatever, but I just, it would be like I might put up 20 this game, and the next game I might put up 8 because I'm just like not really attacking the basket or whatever. But
so, at what point in this like high school, college time do you decide?
Can we time out?
I need a P2.
Yeah,
dude. I was gonna. Yeah. Quick little pause. Hey, apologize. All right, guys. We just had to quick little intermission. Had to use the restroom. That was me and Charlie were battling that. Quick shout out to Alani Nutrition, as always. Katie and Hayden, my boys over there, always keeping us decked out in celts, energy drinks, and all that. So, shouts out to them. But
you guys want another margarita?
I'm actually down. Yeah.
no, I know my
Dude, you're still on one. Come on, man. What half? Or a little celts? Yeah, give him like a half a shot. Thank you so much.
All right.
But yeah. So at what point did in your I guess your youth, high school, college career, did you get into like creating clothing? Because you're always into fashion, I'd assume. Or just always into streetwear culture like that.
So I mean, streetwear. Like, this is gonna sound like I'm like 60, but streetwear wasn't really like a thing when I was coming up. Like, you had urban wear, which you had FUBU, Platinum FUBU, Carl Kanai. Carl Kanai is a little older than me, but
NC, what is it called? ENYCE.
I don't know. Like, I think it's called NYC, but some people used to pronounce it Iniche. I think Iniche was like what people called it, and then I think the brand came out and was like, just like recently too, like, yo, it was never Iniche. No, they just came out just recently, like, and said it, but Pelly Pell, stuff like that. Averex.
South Pole.
South Pole was like, some people would pull up in South Pole, but that was like you would get that at like Burlington or like TJ Maxx.
Bro, South Pole is sick. Like, that's crazy. Was Echo a thing?
I never had South Pole.
Echo. Dude, when I see people wearing Echo,
you didn't have South Pole?
Never.
You didn't have South Pole?
Nah, hell no. Yeah, you look like an Echo guy for sure. You had the Echo. Yo, you know the Echoes that look like Jordan 3s? Yeah, I know you were rocking those for sure.
They had shoes? I didn't know that.
Dude, I was Mexican. I saw the Mexicans wearing it.
Fat Farm?
Oh, man.
Fat Farm was cool. I'm trying to think if I ever had any Fat Farm. I think I honestly like
that's the P
before the
like
AF1, the P on the
P?
Fat Farm shoe. That was a staple.
I never had a Fat Farm shoe in life. I didn't know they had. I mean, I can't even remember that.
He's like, no, I wasn't rocking with the Fat Farm shoes.
Thank you, sire.
Fat Farm shoes is crazy. Shout out Matt for the drink.
But because you kind of asked that question earlier, and I realized I didn't answer it. But I guess historically coming up, I was into fashion, but fashion was different. Like I said, you had Jabode and Averex. Averex, honestly, I'm putting this out into the universe.
Sorry
Averex,
to cut you off one more time, but those jeans that Marco was wearing,
don't
they look like Jabode?
kind of, but like a bad version.
Like a bad version.
Like,
when he asked me, I was like, dude,
bro. I was like, bro.
Me
Jabode,
saying I liked them was like me saying I didn't like them. He's like, do you like them? I'm like, yeah.
Bro, Jabode was like Jabode, the sweat shorts, like the cotton sweat shorts.
I didn't have the shorts. I had the jeans with the straps.
Yeah.
But that was like the thing. Like you would get like Jabodes to match like whatever Air Forces were coming out. But like then it was like, one, I wasn't really working. I would referee like kids basketball games on the weekend and get like $40 or something like that and save up. And so I'm going to the mall with like maybe like $100 and trying to figure out a fit. So you would get like one pair of Jabodes that just could kind of be your Jabodes for like whatever, your multi-purpose Jabodes, and then kind of like get different t-shirts. I remember to this day, I think it was like 10th grade, I had gotten this Jabode t-shirt, and my homie C's, I guess I had worn the shirt too many times in a couple weeks. And dude roasted me at school. He was like, bro, he's like, I'm tired of seeing that shirt. But he honestly was like, I can kind of say that he was what made me appreciate fashion.
Yeah.
in Kentucky, in Madisonville specifically, like Louisville, they would, like Derek Anderson had his own store that got all the Jordans and stuff. And Louisville had a lot of stuff. Madisonville didn't have anything. We had a Hibbets that, like I told you, we didn't even get Air Force Ones in our Hibbets. And so me creating clothing really came out of necessity. I would go and I would get a pair of whatever, Gerbeau jeans or Rockaware denim or whatever, and then I would hand paint t-shirts. And so that was kind of like my cheat code. Was I had the jeans, I had the shoes, I could put all my money on those, go buy a $5 t-shirt and paint whatever I wanted on it. At first it was just for me, and then I think Cizo, he may have been my first customer that was like, yo, like do this for these white, what was it? It was like white, gray, and purple Jordan 7s, I think. Mm-hmm. I painted a shirt and a hat for him. That was like the first customer I had. And then from that, everybody was like, yo, like I need a shirt. This was at the same time when I went off to WKU. And so when I hit campus, I did a couple shirts for like a couple people, and it kind of just like caught fire. Like everybody, like WKU basketball team, Courtney, that's how me and Courtney even met. Was
you did something for the basketball team?
Yeah, Courtney Seeley, mainly cause Courtney, he got some stuff, and then everybody saw it and was just like yo, and like really quickly I was kind of like the man on campus. Like I remember there being a concert and the DJ shouted me out, and like the crowd kind of went crazy, and I've never seen anything like that. Mm-hmm. But like I was doing these shirts for it. Like it went really quickly. Like it went from like homies to like basketball players and like local artists to like Rick Ross and Fat Joe and 2 Chainz and like all of these people that they weren't commissioning me, but I was getting my product on them. Yeah. Like they would be performing. I told you my cousin was like president of this DJ crew, and we would travel literally around like the Southeast to all of these spots, and he'd be like, yo, like we're doing this show with this guy, we're doing this show with this guy, and I would kind of just paint shirts and give them to the people, and then kind of just like I started building this buzz. And then at a certain point I had kind of gotten tired of painting the shirts. I could have kept it going because people still wanted it, but I was just over it. So I started.
When you were painting, what exactly was that process like? Like what like when you say painting?
Like it was
literally blank shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, I would go get like blank t-shirts, and at first it was me just kind of painting whatever I wanted. Like if it was like a phrase or a picture or like whatever, just like basically colorway specific to match whatever shoes were coming out or whatever. And then it got to where everybody was hitting me for custom stuff. So they would come to me almost like you go to the airbrush shop and you say like, I want free Big JJ or like whoever it is. Pause. But
Big JJ is crazy.
Yeah, that I don't know where that came
Big
from.
JJ is crazy.
I know a Big JJ, but pause.
I know a Big JJ is even crazier.
Yeah. But
honestly, I didn't even think about that until you said pause.
I mean, that's what does it.
Yeah. It's like, damn, Big JJ's kind of crazy.
I didn't notice it until I like reflected, like, yo, like you should probably pause that.
Oh man.
But it was really just like I was taking commissions and so I'm doing hand painted shirts, I'm doing mixtape covers for people, and like while I'm traveling for like all of these DJ events and stuff, I'm networking, I'm doing the artwork for all of these DJs, and they're handing out mixtapes. It's just like a a cheat code that every mixtape cover is gonna have like the designer's info in the back. So it was basically just like free marketing for me. So I started getting like DJ Drama, like Gangsta Grill's like covers that I was doing, like Starlito, All Star out of Nashville. I was doing his artwork and like.
What's the most notable artwork that you did?
I don't know. I mean,
Watch the Throne.
Yeah. I know I didn't do that, but I think Joe Perez did that. He has a brand, or Virgil may have did it. I think Virgil.
Virgil did.
Joe was like working with them, I think, but I don't know. Probably my stuff for Lido. He had like a lot of DJ Drama projects that we did. Him and Don Tripp, they had Step Brothers, the Step Brothers mixtape cover. That was like a really popular mixtape, if you know Lido. I did that, I believe. Probably stuff for Lido or DJ Drama.
DJ Drama's legend.
DJ Drama's a legend. Yeah.
I did some stuff with Drama. I did some
DJ
stuff
Drama's
with like
legend.
I think DJ Jelly. DJ Jelly is like a huge, like, I think an Atlanta DJ.
Yeah.
But so like I'm just kind of like grinding, doing that. Started winning like awards at award shows. And I started, I don't know if you remember, do you remember Goodwood, the wooden necklaces and stuff?
Yeah, the
They had
Jesus
like
pieces.
the wooden Jesus piece.
the wooden Jesus piece.
That was an era.
Yeah, that was like
I was the only Mexican with a brown Jesus piece.
the
Everyone
brown
else
one
was
tough,
rosaries
though.
with the brown wood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone
But
else was wearing rosaries and shit.
Goodwoods, man.
So I had a brand that was basically like, we can say it was basically a knockoff of that.
Yeah.
Again, people would come to me, say, I want this, and I would take the commission, make it, and send it to them. So that's how I met Tyler. Actually, I met my partner now, Tyler, through like sneaker Twitter days, but he had bought some stuff from my jewelry company, and he came to me and was like, yo, I want to make gemstone bracelets.
Yeah.
Do you have a source for it? And so the place that I got my beads sold gemstones. And so rather than just kind of like pass him the connect, I'm like, yeah,
let's do it together.
Let's do it together.
Yeah.
And so very quickly we realized that like my eye for design was like it carried over from painting and graphic design to bracelets or whatever. And before we knew it, we kind of had a brand. We had never even met. We had a brand together.
Damn, that's dope.
And so that was Premium Co. And then we had that as just jewelry for like a couple years. And then I just had that itch to get back into fashion and kind of like put some stuff up here and there, just like merch type stuff that was whatever. People would buy 20 of them or something. But I put up this mock-up of this like sublimated t-shirt. This was when like, I don't know if you remember like On Noir, ENNOIR. On Noir was like really big for like sublimated t-shirts. They're the ones that did Kanye's like leather shorts and leather pants and stuff.
Spell it again.
EN space NOIR. On Noir.
Oh yeah.
So some people say in Nor, like
I thought it was in Nor.
Yeah, I think it's On Noir. But I put up a mock-up of a shirt that was similar to that. This is like 2013, and like Instagram went crazy for it. Which Instagram going crazy for it at that time was like 300 likes or something.
Yeah.
But so we made that shirt in New York. It was so expensive to make. It had like leather tags and like crazy cotton sleeves, and it's just a really crazy shirt. We ended up selling it for like 120. I think we made like 100 of them. We ended up selling out, but not instantly. Like it took us like some months to sell out. And even then, like we probably marked them down to like 70 or something at a certain point. But that kind of showed us that, like, yo, if you can sell $120 t-shirt, even a $70, $60 t-shirt, like you clearly have a market here.
Yeah.
And so the next thing I went into was the Terry tee, and that was the French Terry t-shirt, which I personally feel like kind of changed the t-shirt game. Like soon after that, you started seeing Urban Outfitters and H&M and everybody was doing them. But we were doing the Terry tees, and like we were selling like just like hundreds and 1,000 of them at like $62 t-shirt, just like blank t-shirts. And
French Terry's like equivalent to like the Warren Lotus ones, right? The Warren Lotus heavy ones.
French Terry is a little bit softer, right?
French Terry would be kind of equivalent to like
this jacket,
like
being
this, what I have on. Like,
like
it's like the Warren Lotus ones.
No, but that's a different material. Warren Lotus is in.
He's probably
French
just like
Terry.
heavy jersey.
Yeah.
I don't know Warren Lotus's product, but most
I can
people
show you
don't-
a shirt after. I have it. Nah, but that's a little different though.
So like by the
That's
loop,
like damn near Yeezy. The Balenciaga tee I have, the Yeezy Gap Balenciaga design is like that.
So this is basically loop Terry. The way that the fabric is woven, it's just the loop of the fabric. But we were doing t-shirts with this fabric, which was unheard of. Like you would only see like normal jersey cotton, like polyester type t-shirts. And so, but it was like that was the only way I knew how to really achieve this like heathered look.
Yeah. And you're doing blanks.
Yeah, just
black,
a blank. Yeah, I mean, our first one was
white.
Our first one was we did a charcoal like this, I think heather gray and white.
Charcoal is my favorite color on a shirt, like a wash black.
Yeah,
that's the greatest shirts.
That charcoal, like I'm pretty sure, like if there's probably people that will watch this that will be like, "Yo, like I still have my Terry tees."
Yeah.
Like we get tagged in it. Not so much people wearing it anymore,
but just
people that still
have this shit.
have held on to it. Like, and that like the Terry tee was just kind of like what kind of solidified us in fashion. I think. Like, that my especially with premium, Diet has been a little bit different. Diet has been very like graphic design.
Yeah.
Emphasis. Premium was all just like basics.
Basic. Yeah.
And so like that was pure like you had to make a statement with the silhouette of the garment. And so I think that Premium was really known for like iconic silhouettes, but with like a fabric that you just would never really see on that silhouette. Like we were honestly like everybody does boucle like sweatpants now, like Eric Emanuel and like all John Elliott, all these people do them now. We did them 2014, and that's a piece that still people are like, yo, like the Premium boucle sweatpants, like game changer.
Do you ever miss that now that you're a little bit more graphic design heavy, or no?
Yeah, I mean now we have like a really good relationship with our factory to where I'm able to kind of get back into that side of things. For a while, it was just like, yo, like why spend the time, like why spend the money doing that when the bread and butter is like your graphic tee? But just like selfishly, like I have phases of like what I want to wear, and I really don't wear anything unless I designed it.
I feel you.
And so
flex.
I kind of designed for like my wardrobe. Like I wanted a knitted short from my closet, so I made these knitted shorts. And
those are clean.
Very clean.
Now available at Nordstrom.
Those are nice. They're not available online.
They will be on Nordstrom, but I don't know when. Like they just got their delivery. Like they just put the delivery out in stores last week, so I think online will probably be like. I mean, it should be sometime soon. I actually like have been to 3 stores looking to buy the stuff for myself because we didn't make
enough
extra. And so
that's funny.
We had like a little bit of overage. That's where I like pulled this stuff from. But like, I really want like a 2X in this.
Yeah.
And then we have a jacket that I'm just like, I gotta get.
Yeah.
Which is sick that like I gotta go buy my own jacket. But yeah, I think Premium just like we're bringing Premium back under Diet now that we kind of have like the infrastructure to like support like the things that we want to do.
Yeah.
We always kind of had it on the back burner and planned on bringing it back. It's just like, you guys know how hard it is to run one brand, like let alone try to bring back a second one. Yeah, man. I mean, you guys know how hard it is to run multiple because you have different arms of INAKA. So, and you guys have a good team, and you probably still feel like you don't have enough help.
Yeah.
Like our team's like, honestly, like really me and Tyler, like we do have some people in house that kind of handle certain things, but our team is really tiny. So us trying to like navigate that was like, I don't know when it'll come because it's like it's so hard to just maneuver on a daily basis, let alone bring back a whole brand that was been dead for 6 years. But to answer the question, I definitely miss that's why like you see the stuff like this, like it's still diet, but it's still kind of
a lot
basic.
more subtle. Yeah.
Like this is like my country club fit. Like
It's a nice ass jacket.
That is a beautiful, beautiful jacket.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna wear it, but I'm like, it's so hard not to. I'm glad I almost wore a tee, and I'll be honest, like I've been over here
at this point
shivering.
now you can take the jacket
shivering.
off, but like when he
know.
first started,
It might be warmer over there. It was
Yeah.
cold on the side.
I'm still fucking.
Oh yeah,
cold.
that's your Mexican blood.
that
like,
is my
you-
Mexican blood for sure.
I'm cold.
I'm
as
feeling
fuck.
like I could take this off and I'm just chilling.
I got a little Nigerian in my blood, so
Really?
yeah. I just found that out like not too long ago.
Damn.
Naja boy.
So it's probably
Right, Naja?
Niger.
Naja boy.
I don't know my stuff, but I found out I got I got 0.08% Filipino in me as well. So like to all my Filipino friends, I'm like, yo, I'm one of
I'm
you.
one of you. Shout out all the Filipinos, man.
I mean, I guess flash forward to like today, I've been seeing Diet Starts Monday and a lot of like NBA superstars.
Dude, I swear to God, I was just gonna ask the same
like
thing.
Jason Tatum,
Yeah.
Kevin Durant. Who else was wearing it the other day?
Man, I don't even know.
Smiley.
honestly.
Smiley was wearing it all over the place.
Smiley was wild. I didn't know.
Smiley and Drake posted
that
it.
was because you guys sent that. Yeah, I didn't even know who he was until I started getting tagged in those videos.
Yeah. Shout out Smiley. He was wearing a knocker, remember?
Mm-hmm.
What, he's like a rapper.
Yeah.
But he's
So
under
he's like
Drake's
a
camp.
Toronto.
I don't know if he's under Drake.
Nah,
Oh,
he's
just
just
by-
cool. Like
by
Drake
way
just
of
likes
Canada?
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
We know our boy Jeff, who is a trainer, was training him for a while. So that's how we follow him. Like I know Smiley because I listen to his music sometimes, but
Jeff Garcia.
Gloria.
Oh, Gloria. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's the one that trains like Levi and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Him. So
I knew that there was a G and an A in there.
yeah. How does that feel? Yeah. What does that feel
How do you
like?
get your product to them? Or how do they get your product?
It's different. So like a lot of the times it's the stylist, and you may have a relationship with the stylist.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we're in Nordstrom, like we're starting to notice people that are already picking up the stuff from Nordstrom, because Nordstrom got exclusive stuff. So like if you see like these shorts, this top, like
You know they bought it from
we had the jacket with the big pill embroidery on the back. Like if you see those pieces, like they came from Nordstrom.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it is like stylist grabbing stuff. Some of it is just purely the athlete follows you or likes your stuff and just like buys it.
Mm-hmm.
Like we saw an order come through today from Benny the Butcher.
That's
Jeez,
crazy.
Which is like-
Benny follows you.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's actually like him ordering it or like his people or like
Yeah.
whatever. But
That's dope.
That's still insane.
it
Yeah.
feels fire. Somebody asked me the other day, like,
Bro, League Fits post has to be insane.
Yeah.
Like League Fits is like
Center.
honestly the modern day Met Gala to me.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like I mean Met Gala's
Front and
dope,
center.
but like
you know what's different about that too is not different, but like, not to downplay it, but all of that stuff honestly is like relationships.
yeah.
And so like you kind of would hope that it's just like the pure work of like good design, but it honestly is like as easy, not as easy because we've only maybe been on there a couple times, but like I know Ian. If the League Fits is one guy, it's Ian.
Okay.
And like if I wanted to, I could probably hit him and be like, yo, like, can you post this? Like, I need a favor. Like, it could be as easy as that. So it's like that Instagram stuff is just kind of like optical illusion.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But like seeing people get the stuff and wear it is cool. Seeing them get more stuff and wear it again is I think that's the thing, because sometimes it may be like, oh, the stylist pulled this for a shoot, but then they're bringing it back, and I'm just like, that's not really fun. Like, it's cool that they wore it in a shoot, but like they didn't keep it. But then if they pulled
wear it twice,
they asked
times.
to keep it or whatever. Like, that's like, but a lot of that is like just relationships. It's either PR agencies like kind of handling that VIP like seating. We don't have PR for VIP, but it's the whole thing is like, it's just one big business. It's like even like getting on like Hypebeast and stuff like that. Like, that's like a lot of that is like a pay to play.
Yeah.
It's not organic anymore.
Yeah,
It's like being in Forbes.
Yeah.
The
Forbes. I have a friend that he was paying his PR agency, and they kind of just kept getting Forbes articles. And he was like, yo, Forbes was cool like the first 2 times, but it's like I can't really like post about it anymore. Like, nobody cares that I'm on Forbes anymore.
The first Forbes post is cool. The third time it's like, all right, buddy.
I think it also depends on the story too. Like, if it's like a headline story about like
but he paid 20 racks to get
INAKA Power
to get it back in
doing 12 figures on Forbes, and then it's like, yo, like, that's crazy.
Forbes,
but yeah, it's but that's what's good about having a publicist. Like, we've just been trying one out, and it's like, again, like, coming from where I come from, I'm not a LA kid, so a lot of these LA kids are just like super tapped in with the right people. I'm tapped in with some, but not enough. So like, when I post a teaser of my shoe, like, Hypebeast isn't picking that up. I'm saying like Davin Gentry teases new silhouette, but like, if Joe Freshgoods or somebody, and Joe's the homie, so like, but if Joe does
with
that,
it goes anytime he shows a New Balance, it's headlines the next day.
Granted, like, his stuff is crazy, but it's like,
he's goated at New Balance,
too,
you think? No, your shit is
Joe's the goat.
He's goated at New Balance, I feel like.
Joe's goated just as Joe.
Yeah, like, I have like hella tees from. I was so sad because we're going to Chicago this year, and then he closed down the shop.
Fat Tiger.
Yeah, Fat Tiger. I wanted to go so bad.
Yeah, so we met Joe and Vic and all of those guys from Fat Tiger like years ago, and they've always just shown. Vic is like a lot. Vic is part of Fat Tiger. A lot of people don't know because Joe kind of gets a lot of the limelight. But Vic is like an OG, like, Chicago streetwear legend. Shout out Vic Lloyd and Joe.
What's the guy who does the forget his name, but like he works heavily with him with like the Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, Rello.
Yeah. Rello's dope.
Yeah, Rello's killing it too. I don't really know. We probably have met, but I don't really know him too well. But that's like, I kind of like have to work a little bit harder to get
exactly
my stuff noticed. Which, granted, Joe has 100 times the followers I have, so it's a little bit easier. He like for people to kind of like
see what he's posting and stuff. Yeah,
but that's kind of like the give and the take. It's like, it's dope when the NBA players wear it and post it. It's like, kind of need that press to pick up on it too. But I mean, it'll come eventually. I'm big on like I've kind of like manifested the life that I'm starting to live like 15 years ago. So like I've already seen the stuff take shape. So I know it's those things that I want are coming. But yeah, it's
I'm sure so many people bought that.
The puffer jacket,
the puffer lightning jacket.
There's no more.
Did you notice a spike in sales after
we were already sold out of it?
Yikes!
But that's what's crazy is like, we dropped that in like January.
Yeah,
like March it caught fire, like, but there were no more jackets really. And so it was just crazy that like, cause you kind of, obviously you have to be conscious of like we would never really put out a jacket in March.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
But the fact that it just like literally just went crazy in March, like when it's about to be summer, is like,
yeah,
just crazy.
I think it's a testament of the jacket.
I mean, the jacket, honestly, the jacket was kind of like a slow sale on our site. And then it just was like slowly like
2 a day or how many, like
probably more than that. But like, at first we probably blew through like 75% of the stock.
Yeah.
And then like the remaining 25% probably took a few more weeks to sell out. But it was just honestly like we've never really seen anything like that on such a heavy piece too. Like you just don't, like if you buy that now, you're probably buying it on sale to wear it for fall. But like buying it now to wear it, like I've got people sending me videos of like
wearing it
Simba, and I don't know much about Simba's music, but like seeing Simba in the club wearing it on like April night when it's like 80 degrees in LA, but I could do a
smooth puffer jacket right now.
I can do puffer jacket right now.
Yeah.
Right now, but right now it's like 50, 60, like
fucking freezing.
But yeah, like that was crazy to see Drake post it.
Yeah.
Even though Drake wasn't wearing it,
yeah,
it's just like
it was on his social media.
Yeah, Drake's story for like 4 stories in a row.
Millions
it was
of
just
people
straight
saw that.
like
Millions
that
of
was
people
insane.
saw that.
I wish that we had some
branding
just
on the
to
front?
see. No, I wish that we have like a little diet branding, but I wish that we had jackets still in stock to see like
if it spiked any sales.
Yeah, because we don't even have like a notify me when restocked or whatever. But that jacket comes back this fall in 2 or 3 colors, but like completely revamped too. Like our new stuff for fall winter has like all of our diet like branded zippers and like just a completely elevated.
We got to show a photo of the jacket at some point for sure.
Put it right here.
Yeah, right there. Look, there. The photo, the screenshot of Smiley at that. You know,
his commentary of the videos is what just like
that was funny.
Smiley's an interesting character for sure. Smiley's very interesting. That whole video. Is there anyone who hasn't worn diet that you want to wear diet?
Of course.
Who would be like number one? Braun? Yeah.
Braun, Jay-Z.
KD wore it though, right?
KD wore a girl's t-shirt that he like got somehow. It was like a small too.
Yeah, KD is a very fragile type of human being. Yeah. I remember you sent me the screenshot. He was like on a treadmill, right?
On a treadmill, like one of the racing tees.
Yeah, then he wore one in a tunnel.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think he wore a regular one in the tunnel.
So Tyler handles Diet social. A lot of times Diet will get tagged and I won't necessarily know about it.
Yeah.
But I think Jay-Z, Braun, those are like the two that like.
Damn, yeah.
Jay-Z and Braun are,
Jay-Z, like, Braun wearing that would be amazing.
Yeah.
So I actually used to communicate with LeBron's stylist when we had Premium, and we actually sent him the boucle sweats. It was like a whole like sweater and pant combo, and we sent it to the stylist for him to put on LeBron, and he ended up, I guess, I don't know if it didn't fit him how he wanted or what. Somehow Tristan Thompson ended up with it instead.
Yeah.
But I was close. But Bron's also very calculated. Like I think a lot of the brands that he wears, he has stake in.
Yeah, he's only wearing shit that he's getting paid to wear probably at this point.
But I mean, he wears a lot of Mad Happy. He may be an investor in Mad Happy, but I don't know. Those guys, Payman and his brother at Mad Happy, they're like
loaded.
Their marketing is.
I just ran into
insane.
him, Payman, and I was just telling him, there's like a couple people that like have brands that just like do it so like well. And Mad Happy is one, and APL.
Yeah, APL's been around for a while, right?
Yeah, Adam and Ryan, they it's like their moves, and this was the conversation I had with Payman, was their moves are like legendary moves that they just pop up out of nowhere.
But it's like every time.
Yeah, like APL just they just won, like I think they just won USC's Alumni of the Year award.
Yeah.
But like right before that, they popped up with like a Rolls Royce collab or something. They both have like custom built Rolls Royces.
Jesus Christ.
It's just like their moves aren't.
They're not like baby moves.
Yeah, they're not like they're not like we just got into Nordstrom moves. Like they're like, I'm like, Nordstrom. Man, I'm like celebrating off Nordstrom, and then they pull up with the Rolls Royce deal.
Yeah,
I'm like,
APO is big, man.
Yeah, no, Adam has been like, we met because of the Terry T, and he's been like a kind of a fan of the brand, and likewise since probably 2013, 2014. So like those guys have just stayed true to like what they do, and they're like, I mean, they came out the gate with a shoe that got banned by the NBA. So like your destiny is obviously to do great things.
Yeah.
The NBA is saying like your shoe's too good for this.
Shit's insane, man. So to wrap up, what is one piece of advice that you'd give to any creative, and I guess in a similar situation to you, kind of like growing up in a smaller city? I know a lot of our fans are kind of like, they look to us for inspiration, and they want to do things similar to us. So I guess this episode would teach them a lot, kind of like who you are and where you started. So like, what is it, like something you'd give to them, a piece of advice?
You have to figure out how to be irreplaceable. You have to figure out how to like add value in a way that like just can't replicate. Yeah, you can't. And I think that's what's been my my strength, is like you can't really replicate what it is I do. Like there's tons of people that could design better than me, or whether graphically or drawing or whatever, but they may not be able to like compose a garment the way I can, or they may not have the same level of like taste, the same taste level, or even just like level of like expectation of like where I want the quality to be or whatever. And I've noticed that, because there's been tons of times where I've hit my homie like, yo, like I can't draw this. Can you draw this? And I'm going to take it and make this with it or whatever. But I think that that would probably be the biggest takeaway, is kind of like try to figure out how to just continuously add value. I've had multiple partners that have been valuable partners, but like Tyler is one that adds value kind of wherever we need value at that moment. So like Tyler doesn't necessarily have like just like one thing that's like his, like I'm a designer. Tyler is kind of just like, okay, like you need me to do social media, I'll be social media. You need me to do operations, I'll do operations. Like however he can provide value, he provides value. Everybody doesn't have to be the like the designer or the face, like the or whatever. And Tyler's fully like comfortable being like behind the scenes. Like he doesn't want, not that he doesn't want credit, but he doesn't necessarily want to be like doing interviews and being on TV and like stuff like that. But value is just like the biggest thing. Like when I was traveling with like the DJ crews and stuff like that, I provided value because I was making mixtape covers and flyers and business cards and posters. But then on the back of that, I'm also networking and marketing myself. But I was extended these invitations because of the value that I provided. And then that just kind of like, my value now is like a lot more than just design. It's like overall, one, it's experience. Like I've been doing this for a long time. So like, I know like what deals are bad and what looks like a good deal. And I don't know, it's just like, you gotta have your role players. It's like somebody said earlier, like every A team needs a B team. Like There's people that need to be camera people. There's people that need to be editors. There's people that need to just be managers of like the shop. There's just people that you need to fill every slot in order for your team to be sharp. So
Yeah.
Find your niche and really just sharpen the craft. Like study, read, watch podcasts. Like my college learnings weren't in the classroom. It was like my advisor saying like, yo, you don't need to be in the art department. You need to be down here learning advertising and mass media because this is where the money's at. Like, but taking those classes, I didn't really learn anything. It was just like, you kind of like get bumped. It's almost like a pinball machine. You get bumped from spot to spot until you finally start to hit things
Enough
that put
spots
points
where,
on the board. But yeah, like sharpen your craft, figure out your lane, and provide value, whether that's like to your brand or to your audience. Like I know a lot of people who don't necessarily have like a product that they know how to build, but themselves are the product because of the value that they provide to their audience, whether it's like motivational or like they're teaching people about investments or just business or like whatever. Like there's so many avenues that people don't understand. Like people think that if you want to be a part of a brand, you have to be a designer. That's not. It's not the case. I know tons of people.
He's a very good big part of the brand. He's not a designer.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
But again, Tyler's not a designer whatsoever, but he's a critical part of the brand. So even our new project manager, Izzy, which she's been on some calls.
Yeah.
She's fascinated by the psychology of a brand. She didn't come into the brand wanting to like just like soak up all the knowledge and then go start her own kind of competitor. She's fascinated by a different part that doesn't require her to be like a brand owner. So, but she adds a ton of value, and it doesn't like clash with like the value that anybody else adds. Like you don't need two Charlies on your team. Like you need a Charlie, and you need an Ant, and you need a Matt, and you need a Sam, and you need a Lex, and like everybody else, they have their own value that they bring. And Serge and everybody else is like
Serge is kind of
Serge is a little questionable.
Serge is all right.
Serge is like the sixth man that like, you know, you hit the free agency, you're like, better deal, buddy.
Nah, I feel you.
JK. Serge is sixth man of the year for sure.
Nah, I feel you. No, I think that's so true because I mean, you say you're not a good manager. I wouldn't say I'm not a horrible manager, but like I feel like Sam does a better job of managing things than I do. I'm sure
that's the thing is like you got to have that balance. Like Tyler's not really a manager either. Like we technically don't really have anybody that manages. Tyler is honestly Izzy, if anybody, she's the one that will kind of slide into that role of management. Tyler's an organizational guy, but not necessarily the manager. Izzy's like great at managing and organizing. Izzy and Tyler together will be like what kind of like helps me in my career the most. Like them two getting everything in sync. And it's very new. Like just whenever we kind of started communicating about the collab and everything is when we brought Izzy in, and just the short time that she's been around, like just picking up on the different things that she brings to the table. She probably is like our Sam. Like she'll kind of be that eventually.
Yeah. I think a lot of people don't understand that like you don't always have to be a face.
Yeah,
no. And everyone wants to be a face.
Even myself, like there's been tons of times where I didn't want to be the face.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, like John was a part of the brand, and John was essentially the face. When he stepped aside to focus on his brand, that
pushed you
me
to that,
up.
yeah.
But that was part of the conversation when we decided to start Diet. John and I was he was like, do you want to be like a co-face of the brand, or do you want to just be in the behind the scenes? And he was like, actually, before I even answered it, he's like, actually, I want you to be like a face of the brand, because John's kind of been like the push for, he's the one that made me create a Davin Gentry Instagram.
Yeah.
Like Premium Co was my,
Like your personal?
was my personal. And he was like, man, people need to know
like who you are.
Yeah, who you are. And even when I created the Davin Gentry brand, or the Davin Gentry page, our other homie Pete, he wrote me and was like, yo, like, I know you created your personal page, but don't lose that on the Premium Co page, because people have bought into you on that page and people want to see that. And I'm like, well, yeah, but they can come follow that page. And he's like, not everybody's going to do that.
Facts.
He's like, you might,
There'll be a drop off.
yeah, you might have some drop off. And he was right. And I took that with me and learned from it. But nowadays, like, everybody doesn't have to be a face, but you definitely need a face.
Yeah.
And it wasn't always like that. It was like you kind of had these brands that were like successful brands that nobody knew until you started seeing like Jerry and Chris Stamped and Mike Amiri and Ruiji and like all of these people. You started like buying into their lifestyle.
I think an important thing going into this year and even further, I think from a marketing perspective, I think you need multiple faces at this point, because if you want your brand, especially for a brand that you want to be in multiple markets, you need multiple faces for each market that you're trying to get into.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody can be a face
in their own way.
Yeah, it's just like you're like people are knowing like what your role is or what your role is, and your team is like, all of you guys are faces of INAKA, and I think it's just a matter of like how it's communicated. Like, as long as you're communicating, like it's like if you're like you guys have a very, like, from the outside looking in, a very like selfless team that like you are a face, but you're cool if Charlie's the face, because you know that's for the betterment of the brand.
Yeah.
If it is for the betterment of the brand in that scenario, but there may be a situation where it's better for you to step up and be the face of a particular thing. So
that's what you're saying. Sergio could be a face of like what he does.
Yeah.
And if he communicates to his following,
to his type of following.
Yeah, I mean, he is a face for like the content side of it. Like, he is the face of that. So
yeah,
and that's
literally last night on my live, dude, funny story. So I'm on my live and I'm like, yo, everyone right now, go to your story and put hashtag free Surge. So there's like 30 people last night just saying hashtag free Surge. So like everyone's like I feel like, yo, like honestly, I feel like everyone's a character.
You develop a face through a character.
Yeah.
Well, also too, you guys got to think about it in the sense of like, I mean, you basically have your own TV show.
Exactly. Yeah.
And all of you guys are visible in the TV show. So it's definitely like, you guys should do like, I feel like you guys, either you guys did it or Max did it. Somebody did like a Family Matters type intro or something. Was that you guys?
We did it a while back.
We did it a while back. Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. We can do it again,
yeah. Exactly. If you have the time and the people for it.
Yeah.
It's the way you are able to build
people. I feel like it's so weird, but
it
like
makes your following and your fans, like your customers,
so much more engaged,
so much more to your company and your brand, because like there's at least, if they don't relate to me, they relate to him or him or him.
Yeah,
so that's what makes it cool.
Yeah, there's always like somebody may not see themselves as your character, but they may see them as Serge or Ant, or whoever. You guys have done I don't know how many like people come on, and I would assume people come on and give you guys your flowers, but like the community that you guys are building is like, it's just, I've never really seen anything like it. Like, you don't really see brand, like you see a brand, there's kind of like our way of doing things with diet, and there's you guys' way, and you guys have bits and pieces that are like the diet way, but like amplified in such a different way. But like the way that you guys have kind of like built this community of supporters is like the number of comments that you could spike up on a post for INAKA. Some of these brands could never, like Jerry couldn't do that. Jerry, I mean, not to say he couldn't, but
yeah, that's what you're saying. Yeah,
I don't see Jerry like posting on Twitter and being like, everybody go write free surge on my last post, and having 16,000 people. I went to one of you guys' posts when I was showing people from, I forget if it was Saucony, just your social, and the post had 14,000 likes, I think, and it had like 16,000 comments, or it was vice versa, maybe 16,000 likes, 14,000 comments. I'm like, bro, just like getting people to, it's like what we said about if you can get people to pull up and run 2, 3, 5 miles for your brand.
Those are ride or dies. Yeah,
that's support that just like, and it's only gonna get crazier. Like they don't even really know, and I don't even have to know half the stuff that you guys are doing until I see it. But like they don't know half the stuff that you guys have coming, so it's only gonna get crazier. But definitely commend you guys, because it's definitely like admirable. Like we definitely use you guys as references. Like, yo, like we gotta step it up, because we like I can't get people, I can't get 16,000 people to go say something.
Oh man, with the collab we'll have 20,000. With the collab we'll have 20,000.
Yeah, easily. Got to 20,000 or it's not dropping.
Yeah, facts. If we don't get 20,000 comments, we'll share the stuff and be like, yo, if you guys want this, 20,000 comments on this post within the next 5 minutes.
So the guy I was mentioning from Soul Retriever, part of their model, you only get access to this app once you share it to like a certain amount of people. They have a wait list of like 32,000 people.
Jesus,
that's smart.
And but you only get bumped in when you like share it to a certain amount of people. So it made me think about that with the drop.
That is a very interesting.
That is very smart.
I kind of like that.
I like that a lot. Shit.
That could be like how you could get people into the Discord.
Yeah. I actually like that idea a lot.
Their stuff is, his business model, like how they're building stuff is
cool, really
crazy.
Man, this was definitely my favorite episode. What is this, like 2 hours? 145? Longest episode, 2, yeah. Shout out Joshua Tree. Shout out Davin Gentry.
The shrooms that we took.
The shrooms, the liquor, the weed, No, but this is dropping Monday. The shoes will be available Monday, right?
Yeah.
Monday at what time?
We ain't even set a time yet. Actually, probably like, I don't know. It might be like probably like a 5 p.m.-ish type thing. Mondays are tough.
This is going up at 10 a.m. So
I love these.
10 a.m. guys, if you're watching this,
make
sure we'll put the link in the description. DSM, Saucony, beautiful shoe, extremely comfortable. This is actually game worn by me. I've ran, how many miles I run? 4 miles this morning in these. Didn't feel a thing. I was running on clouds. So definitely recommend buying these. Davin, thank you for driving 2 hours. Then you drove through potholes and bomb.
Yeah, I might have to get footage of me leaving.
Honestly, a little drone coverage of the ground. Yo, guys, you have to definitely watch this and share it, because we're paying for the damage to his Tesla. My Tesla's fucked. Now his Tesla's fucked. We're all fucked. But
hopefully you don't crack a.
Don't, whatever you do, don't break the arm of the control. Don't break the control arm. Your car's gone for 3 months. I'm trying not to break
anything.
Yeah.
There's literally, it looks like bombs went off on that road.
Definitely. Looks like we're in the middle of Afghan out here. Nothing but a desert and a few podcasters. So thank you guys for watching. Shoes available some point in the day. Make sure you click the link in the description. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. DSM times INAKA at some point this year. These shoes are available now. Thank you guys for watching. That was a great fucking episode.